Hello, good morning everyone. I am Aditi Wala and today I am going to present on contemporary literature in English, and today's my topic is comparison between The Only Story and The Sense of an Ending. These both novels are written by Julian Barnes. So first of all we can see about author's introduction. Uh, Author is Julian Barnes. Julian Barnes was born in the 19th January 1946 in Leicester, England, and his spouse Pat Kawang. He has married with her in 1979, and he has died in 2008. Her pen name is Dan Kawang and Edward Pacher, and his occupation is writer, and his genre is novels, short stories, essays, memories, and everything. And his literary movement is postmodernism, and his notable awards is Prix Femina in 1992, Commander of Lord des Arts at Des Letter in 2004, a Man Booker Prize for the Sense of an Ending in 2011, and the Jerusalem Prize in 2021. And Julian Barnes' other book is The Man in the Red Coat, was published in the UK in 2019, and in the book in the US in 2020. And he also selected and introduced a collection of John Cheever stories titled A Vision of the World, and his new novel Elizabeth Finch will be published in 2022. And here we can see about the introduction about the text. The Only Story is novel written by Julian Barnes, and it is his 13th novel, and it is published in 1st February 2018. Its novel genre is memory novel. Its novel publisher is Jonathan Cape. This novel is setting in stockbroker belt outside London in 1960s, and narrator is Robert Paul. And this novel is divided in three parts. Part one is the boy meets woman, narrative told in the first person. Second part is told in a mixture of first and the second person, is the decline of the love affair. And part three is the rest of Paul's life, told mostly in a mix of second and third person. And next we can see about the text, The Sense of an Ending. The Sense of an Ending is a novel written by Julian Barnes, and this novel is Julian Barnes' 11th novel. And for this novel, he has achieved a Man Booker Prize award. And this novel's genre is psychological fiction, published in 4th August 2011. And this novel's publisher is Jonathan Cape also, and no. And this novel narrator is Tony Webster, and this novel is divided in two parts. And here we can see about the Only Story. The Only Story is the first of Barnes' book not dedicated to his wife, Pat Kawang, who died in 2008. Significantly, the familiar conundrums Paul contemplates pertain just readily to grief mourners as to people signed by romance gone every. It is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. He wondered, and he said, would you rather the love and suffer the more, or love the less and suffer the less? And the Only Story is about losing control, but also losing the ability to lose control. And the sense of an ending. The Sense of an Ending rushed into print 3 months ahead of its original US release the date after being shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize, and it's elegantly composed, quietly devastating tale about a memory gaining time and remorse. And the character of the Only Stories, Paul Robert is the protagonist of the novel, and Susan MacLeod, Jordan MacLeod, Martha and Clara MacLeod, John, Eric, Paul, and Anna. These are the major characters of the novel. And the sense of an ending. The Sense of an Ending is the main protagonist is Anthony Tony Webster, and the other major character is Adrian Finn, Veronica Jackford, Margaret Susie, Adrian's son, and many other characters. And next we can see about the themes of the novels. In Only Story, where writer has used the theme of memory, love, passion, and suffering, and also marriage theme. And in The Sense of an Ending, writer has used the philosophy versus reality, sex, class, and power, and also the memory and self depiction, history, narrative, and truth. And the narrative technique of The Only Story. Part 1 is the boy meets woman narrative, told in the first person. And in the last few pages, as Paul says his final goodbye to Susan, now sedated in the psychiatric hospital, he reverts to the first person. And The Sense of an Ending is the narrative technique is a repetition as a literary technique and was effectively applied in Julian Barnes, The Sense of an Ending, and it was used to the imperfection and subjectivity of both memory and history. And here we can see about the title of The Only Story. The Only Story concerns the pained recollection of an aging Englishman's life-changing only love. And for further information, I have put here one link. And the most of us have only one story to tell. I don't mean that only one thing happens to us in our lives. There are countless events which we turn into countless stories, but there's only one that matters and only one finally worth telling. And this quote is coming from The Only Story, and this quote is describe the title of the novel. And the title of The Sense of an Ending invites multiple interpretations. And in The Sense of an Ending, the title plays vital role as the vital itself suggests that the sense of an ending means where the question arises in our mind that whose ending is it. And the ending of the novel is not clearly given, or Barnes has deliberately done this to make reader thinking. It can also be said that the book leaves us with no real sense of an ending. And here I put some quotes from The Only Story. And here I put some quotes from original quotes from The Sense of an Ending. And here is my references. And thank you, everyone.